Are you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
The Roundtable, everybody. My name is Robert Bannon. You're listening to us on Broadway World over here on the Broadway Podcast Network, iHeart. Spot. I'm taking over. We're taking over here on the Roundtable. We're so excited. You know, we have a special love for gospel and the gospel greats here. We've had them, I don't know, Kiera, Tamala, Tasha. The singers come on this show. And I heard this next singer and his live album. Florida is going to get up. America's going to get up. World, get up. He's got a word for you. He's singing his face off. Wait till you hear his church medley. Wait till you hear his new single called Greater. I am so excited to hear about his journey and what he's got up his sleeves for us. Darius is here. Welcome to the Roundtable.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Yo, Florida's in the house. How you doing?
And we here.
You're here. Congratulations.
Amazing, man.
I just listened to it from beginning to end. And it is a wild party ride of vocals, music, God, gospel, the whole thing. You did that.
Oh, man. Thank you so much, man. We had a lot of fun recording that album.
So tell us, how did it all happen? How did you pick the music and how did you put this all together? It's live.
Oh, no, it's live. Probably 90% of what you hear, 95% of what you hear is what we recorded that night. No overdubs, no, like it's like that's it. Like we went live and we just did it. I probably only overdubbed maybe one or two songs at the most.
Oh my goodness. Well, the energy of a live recording, you cannot beat that. You cannot. Right. It just from beginning to end, as they say, no skips. Like you're just going to take this and take it all the way. Where did you discover your love of music?
Well, you know, I'm a part of a musical family. So my brothers all play instruments, cousins play instruments, my uncles, my dad is a musician, my brother is a singer. So we just really were raised in a musical household. So born and bred, if you will.
Yes. So while we're talking, you can follow Darius W official on Instagram, and you could stream Live by Faith wherever music is heard. It's out and about right now. So you have an amazing voice. You have such a presence about you with your voice, your tone. You could have chosen to be an R&B singer. You could have chosen to be a pop singer. You could have been on Broadway. The world was your oyster, Darius. What about church and serving gospel music and it made you know that this was the place for you?
In full transparency, man, like some of those venues are still kind of on the table. Gospel is roots for me. So I wanted to make sure that I created a project that spoke to like the nostalgia of my childhood, if you will. And this particular album is really like an expression of like the last 10 or 15 years of my life, which were filled with many mountains and many valleys, you know, together. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna write music about like my testimony, but pop, R&B, all that stuff is not off the table. I plan to definitely like cross over and do music that just feels good, right? It doesn't matter what genre, it just has to feel good and true to my story.
People singing up and down and around and back again. So you have a lot of guests. You have some really amazing guests on this project. So tell us about who's singing with you.
Oh yeah, man. Star-studded, legendary gospel artist by the name of Vanessa Bell Armstrong. Super dope. She has so many awards. She's studded, decorated. Likewise, Jonathan Nelson actually as well too. He is another staple in gospel music. And the Emmy Award winning Slade, who is a freaking creative phenom. And I was just honored that he even said yes on all of them, among other local artists that are rising and coming up as well too. So I wanted to just share the love, create a conglomerate of just talent.
Darius pulled Slade off the road with Patti LaBelle, got him to, no one sings like that. I mean, that is a singing fool right there. Yeah. And the song is a classic. It's a banger that y'all put on here together. Yeah. You do a lot, Darius. Like reading your bio and your press release and all of your information, you are out here.
Yeah.
Do you sleep?
I know, right? I don't. Sometimes I don't, Robert.
You're a pastor.
Yes.
You have your own family and you're a father and you're a realtor and a businessman and a gospel star and you put it all together. So how do you have the time and departmentalize the different parts of your life?
Well, you know, one of my old mentors used to tell me that, like, you know, it's like cooking. You know what I mean? All the eyes on the stove are on, but not everything is on high. So every day you just kind of lean into what needs the most attention, but everything is still cooking. So that's how, as a high capacity person, I'm able to still track and move things forward. Real estate is really the legs that helps it all stand up, you know, from a financial aspect, right? I'm into investment and sales and all kinds of spaces within the real estate industry. I'm in there, you know what I mean? And then that just kind of provides the leeway for us to really do this freely.
And in your spare time, you just buy 40,000 square foot real estate, turn into a multi-use media center. What are you going to do? What's the goal? What's the vision?
So eventually that is our goal. We're hoping to do we're leasing right now and wanted to be able to convert into a purchase option. And we just acquired it, got the keys not even a couple weeks ago. And the vision there is a bunch of stuff. You know, we're going to do a daycare for performing arts, basically bringing all that I've learned over the years. I worked with an education curriculum specialist to help write and something that we're going to patent, where we teach toddlers, introduce them to piano, violin, dance, drama, acting, all the things at 3, 4, 5 years old, you know what I mean, before they go to grade school. And we're gonna put it all together. We have a restaurant there, a bunch of different ideas from an entrepreneurial standpoint. But yeah, man, film, soundstage, recording studio, church. There's so much space. We could do a lot there. So yeah.
In his spare time, that's what he's doing when he's not a gospel superstar and running a church and being all of the things. You stay out here, but all of it, I'm sure you were talking about other styles of music, but yeah. I'm sure everything you do has the mission to come back to church, to come back to Jesus, to come back to the word, to come back to what you're out here praising and preaching about. So how does faith stay at the center of all of the different projects that you work on?
I believe I have the gift of faith, and that really is what grounds and anchors everything. It's my faith. So going through everything, whether it's business or daycare or film or recording or traveling, singing, faith stays at the center, because I am very authentic and very true to myself as into what I have to lean into to make any of this stuff happen. You get what I mean? I just kind of see a vision of it, and I don't always have the resources to pull it off in that moment, but I use faith to get me to take the next step. And then before you know it, like, bam, here's this deal, here's this closing, here's this, you know what I mean? And the resources just come. But yeah, faith stays at the center, because I keep what's true to me, what's authentic to me, anchoring everything. And that's just my personal journey.
And now you put it to song and you put it out here, and like we're talking, everybody, the album is out and you could be listening to it. It's Darius Live by Faith live. Let's go. TRIBL Records and your partnership with them and all that's going on. What's it like to be with a group like that? I mean, they're pretty big deal. I mean, they have some of the Maverick City Music and all of that. What's it like to partner and work with some of the best in this business?
So far, the one word that I would describe our partnership is it's just synergized. It just flows. You know what I mean? Because I'm an artist, but I'm not your typical artist. You know what I mean? So even the conversation for onboarding and partnering with them, they were just like, bro, you just different. You know what I mean? From even registering the songs, like the white sheet that I sent them that has all the publishing splits and everything that's on there, like I sent it to them completed already, because that's kind of my bag. I understand the music business part of it, and they're just like, huh? What? Like, who are you, bro? Like, so it's been good to bring my business acumen to the label and work together more strategically. We're able to do that because I understand the back end of it probably a little better than your average, artist. So it's just synergized. We set goals, and then we create strategy to meet those goals.
Because you're right. Like, people are usually, I'm a writer, I'm a singer, that's what I do, and I leave the business to somebody else. How did you learn the business side? What part of your journey made you be like, I need to know my trademarks, my copyrights, my business?
I think that's innate, honestly. Like, I've never been that artist that was only focused on the creative side. I am a very, let's call it nosy, Robert. So I want to know everything, I want to know everything. So when I am in a conversation, I want to speak intelligently about whatever it is we're talking about. And sometimes I found myself in rooms where the conversation was bigger than me, and I was like, nah, let me go and do my homework, let me learn it. And then once I started to dig into that stuff, it's just like, wait, this makes so much sense. If you approach music business first, you know what I mean, then it makes it easier for you to add the components of ministry and faith and all that stuff. I think sometimes artists struggle because they start with the creative side, they start with the heart stuff first, and then for some reason they cannot get beyond that in order to integrate the business side of it, where I'm starting with strategy and then I'm going to bring my faith into something strategic. You know what I mean?
I love it. I think it makes total sense. And this is what's going to separate. Watch out, y'all. It's coming for you all. So what is the moment when you decide, growing up in church and singing and being from a musical family, that you have the confidence or the calling to take a step in front of the choir, so to speak, and to be the artist, to be the lead singer?
So that's funny because my oldest brother, he's featured on this on the lead single Greater, actually, and I would dub him as the singer of the family. But Sam Washington Jr., killer. He can sing, right? I was always the music and the producer, so I was bringing the elements together. And when I was younger, he did a lot of the singing out front. But I would get in trouble in school. So my student intervention specialist, I guess she called herself, punishing me one day. So she sends me to the chorus room, right? And she's like, you're just gonna go over there and sit in there. And so I enjoyed it. And and I was just like, I actually love music. And she was like, do you play or sing? So I went to the piano and I played, and she just cried. She literally was amazed. And she was like, they were trying to label me to be this bad kid. And she was just like, no, you got a ton of gifts that just need to be redirected and channeled in a different direction. So she just made me sing. She was like, hey, get up here and sing. And I was like, I'm not singing. And she was like, she starts the program and puts the mic in my hand. And she's like, everybody, this is Darius Washington. And just forced me to sing. And then she would take me to the nursing home with her nonprofit organization, and we sang carols to the elderly. And really, she was a catalyst for the out front singing, if that makes sense. So I've always been a part of a musical family, but I was the one kind of in the background, just playing and letting Sam do all the leading. And her name is Dr. Falitha Tucker Johnson in Tampa. She said, nope. She said, I want you to sing. You're going to lead this. And then I'm going to take you around the city, going to different schools, singing at programs and high schools and middle schools and all kinds of stuff like that. So, she was a primary catalyst.
That mentorship, and that's why you being a mentor, it saves kids' lives out here, giving them some outlet and opportunity to be who they are and let them shine. That's a big deal, Darius.
Yeah, man.
So when did you start writing? You're a writer.
Mm-hmm. So writing for me, because I am a producer, and because I write the music, I write the melodies. So for me, I can't separate the two, if that makes sense. Like, the melody only feels good with the right word being sung in that, in that cadence, or in that melodic kind of progression, if you will.
Sure.
So it kind of happens all at the same time for me. I'm one of those people that can't separate the two. And if I don't know it, then I will, watermelon, I'll put something there, and I'm like, something's got to go here that sounds like this, on this rhythmic cadence, in this progression, in this melody. And then I'll just sit on it until an experience happens. When we were talking about how do you ground it, until an experience happens. And then I'm like, bam, I got the word for that blank.
Fill in the blank, literally. So like a song like Greater, which is out, and the single right now how does a song like that come to you?
So what's crazy is my best friend from college, he's the only friend that I still keep in contact with from UCF. And he is, super dope, strong singer, strong writer. He sends me a voice note of just the pre-chorus. That's it. That's all he had. And he said, what can you do with this on your album? I said, what? I literally, as soon as I heard it, I heard everything else to go with it. And within 2 minutes, I wrote both verses, the chord. It was amazing, So I do that a lot too. I collaborate with other creatives as well too. And sometimes all they got is just a little piece, but once my ear hears it, boom, let's go.
And then it's out. And then now it's out, and now you can stream it and you can listen to it. I know that your life experiences, you're very open in your online, and you talk about your struggles, your journey, starting businesses in the back seat of your, the trunk of your car, or, going through tough times and all of that. How's it feel now to be kind of on the other end and now have this major release? Your album is out with your words, your voice, and, you went through the tough times, and it brings you to this moment.
It's sometimes very surreal. I kind of pinch myself. Have to pinch myself sometimes. I was like, man, I can't believe that a decade ago, this seems so far out of reach. I was trying to eat, bro. Literally, yeah. I was just trying to survive in that space, and I was homeless. I was living out of my car, And even in that space, the inner drive, it's a fire that burned on the inside of me as a young child to always be ambitious and be successful. And so even in the worst of times, no money, no nothing, scraping up change to put in the gas tank, bro, literally. It's like showing up to hotels, eating their free continental breakfast. That's how I had to figure it out. Now, fast forward 10 years later, I'm employing people work full time, at the church and a part of my brand. And I'm seeing a lot of my struggles. Some of these people are going through the same thing. And it's just like, it makes sense. You had to like send me, God, through this journey to blaze a trail. So now not only can I help them up, but I can encourage their soul and their heart and their spirits, bro, like that they don't like quit while they're coming out. Because most people do. Most people just quit while they're coming out. So now it just feels surreal to be on the other end of it and being able to reach back and pull somebody up.
10 years ago, he never would have thought he would be leasing 40,000 square feet of real estate and putting out. I mean, that's the best truly is yet to come. If you hang in there and keep fighting. They talk about your music being the next generation of Christian gospel music, and a new world for religious and gospel music out here. How does that feel? What does that mean to you? What does it mean to be the next generation?
Super special because you think about, our predecessors who paved the way, even some of the names that I mentioned, like all of them, like Tony, B. Slade, Jonathan Nelson, Vanessa Bell Armstrong, John P. Key, Hezekiah Walker. They came through era in gospel music where now we call it classic and we call it throwback gospel and all that stuff. But dude, that's the soundtrack of our childhood. You know what I mean? So to know that music that we're creating now is going to be the soundtrack of the next generation, like as they go through their struggles, as they go through life, as they go through figuring out their faith, that's pretty special, man. You know what I mean? So it's super dope to just see here, as you see myself, see, hear, and feel, and be a part of that. So.
I love that sweat. I need that sweatshirt. I love that sweatshirt. I'm out here in Detroit, and during the day I teach at an alternative high school, and we need all the students, all the young people out here to be seen, heard, and feel what they're going through. It's so important. That was what I was going to say to you. What do you wish this younger generation knows now? What do you wish that your music, a gospel and religious and aside, just in general as a mentor, what is the message for the youngsters out here?
Yeah, man. Like I'd say this all the time. Don't stop until you see what God says. Like, so things that we dream as young adults, children, it's God gave you that dream, that vision for a reason. Keep pushing. You just got to keep going and keep grinding and keep building and keep falling and keep getting up and keep investing and keep sowing and keep helping the lost and keep giving to the less fortunate. You just got to keep going until you physically see in front of you what God showed you 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. And so that's my message. I see you, I hear you, I feel you. Keep going until you see what God said.
I love that. From my own life, I think we all can understand that sometimes things happen we don't understand in the moment, but eventually it makes sense, and we trust in God and where He's our path, and the path will open up for you. And you show that with your story, and thank you for sharing it with us. I love this Darius period. Where did the Darius period come from before we go on? How did the period get there?
Well, like people say it now, they're like, oh, so like major, right? And I was like, I didn't know that that's what it was until afterwards. I was just saying, look, Darius, it's a statement by itself. Put it in all caps. It's a movement. It's a sound. It's a brand. So I just wanted to emphasize the brand. That's really what it was. Not like anything super deep. I was just like, I want to emphasize Darius. Like I have a story. I am a movement all by itself. Like my story wrapped up in music and all the stuff that I'm doing. Like that's a thing. So let's put a period behind it. Make it all caps. And that's
there he is.
Got it. Yeah.
Darius period. Follow on Instagram. All the links will be below. Live by Faith. The album is out wherever music is heard. It's good. Oh my goodness. From the medleys to the guests to his voice to the songwriting to the original. You got to check it out. It's streaming wherever music is. Thank you so much for being. I look forward to so much more music, so many more shows, so much. The world is yours. Go get them. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, man.